Hey everyone, how you doing? Do you know what? Whenever I click, whoops, let me get the microphone in place. Whenever I click go live, or start streaming, I have to. It takes 6 or 7 seconds before it actually appears on YouTube. So I'm sat there and going, is it live? Is it not live? So whenever these videos start, for 6 seconds, I'm just sat there going, I don't mean to do that. It's just I don't know if it's live. Yeah, done some recordings today. Sorted out a few client things. Hey, Phil, how are you? P.S. Don't forget to click like, all right? Hi, Phil, how are you? Hey, George. Why have I got these on? Just because, I don't want to say I've wasted the last half hour, but I feel like I've wasted the last half hour. I've been, you know when you open... Sorry, I got to put this out there. You know when you open a Pepsi Max or a bottle and you're doing this? It always reminds me of Darth Vader. You know in Star Wars and New Hope, Episode 4, when they're flying after Luke, you know, in the trenches of the Death Star. I always wonder, what is Darth Vader doing? He's like this. At one point, he's like this, isn't it? He's like twisting something. It's like, what? Has he got a flask or something? Has Darth Vader got, oh, you know what? I'm getting tired. I need a drink. Has he got a flask? He's like undoing a bottle. He's like that. Next time you watch it, okay, Star Wars, A New Hope, Episode 4, as they're flying after Luke, he does this. He starts to twist something and you go, what are you doing? The fuel cap? Hey, Jimmy. Oh, that is super cold. Whoa. Super cold. Hey, Mia. Yeah, I'm feeling good. It's a super hot day in the UK today. Anyone in the UK, it is a nice hot day. Anyone out in Europe is probably having a hotter day. But I tell you what, in the UK, when we just have an ounce of hotness, we kind of go, ugh, this is too hot. But it's okay. It's a good day. Hey, Della. Hey, Pickstar. I was just saying, by the way, in case anyone's wondering, as I was opening my Pepsi Max, I was twisting the bottle. Hey, Andrew. You know in Star Wars A New Hope, when Darth Vader is behind Luke in the trenches of the Death Star? He does this. Darth Vader does this. He starts to twist something. And it just reminds me of when I was twisting my Pepsi Max bottle cap off. Look out for it next time. Don't worry, Jack. We're chilling out today, all right? I've been doing a few stuff in the morning. I love the way George goes, it's only 32 degrees. It's only 32 degrees, everyone, right? It's only wet in Scotland. If you didn't know already, okay, and I'm sure you do know about this already, there is a live chat tomorrow, 8 p.m. British Summertime, BST, with, let me just get the link for it. It's with Paul from WP Tuts and Vito from Atarim as well. So we're doing like a joint three-way, a threesome, a sandwich, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow. So tomorrow, 8 p.m. BST, joint chat with, got to get this right, with Paul, which is WP Tuts, and Vito from Atarim. That will be on Paul's channel, by the way, so don't come here looking for it, okay? So please do make sure you click like. And tomorrow with Paul... Oh, I wrote 2 2s. It's meant to be WP Tuts. I've written 2 2s. Look at that. Let me get my finger right. Got that wrong. I'm not sure, really. Menage a trois. Have you ever said that to someone and they look at you going, what? What's a menage a trois? What? How do you explain a menage a trois to someone? Hello, what is a menage a trois? And you go... And then you start to use your fingers, innit? You start to go, well, It's, yeah. How did I get WP tutus? Oh dear, that's a now that's a screenshot, isn't it? Atarim, yeah, Eddie. So Atarim is a really cool tool whereby if you are doing like two-way conversations with your clients or a team, and they leave notes on your website, and you cannot, or maybe you get them to review a website, and they leave 20 markers, change this, change that, move this. You can literally tick them off as you go through, and it highlights where the changes are. What's really good about Atarim now, the latest version, is A, it's free to use. Big plus. Number two, no, we're not reviewing tutus during the stream, Jimmy. And number two, you could go to any website in the world, apple.com, Microsoft, any website, and you can literally start leaving notes on that website and share that with George or Carapace or Jimmy or Pickstar, anyone. It is really good. Have you ever heard of the Atarim Web Summit? The last one was in April. Atarim Web Summit, which is really good web summit. It's free to attend. It's online. Nitro Speed, George. So the optimization tool that cheats with a blank screen is Nitro Pack. Don't tell me you got someone using it, George. What WP management tools am I using? Do you know something? I don't anymore. I used to use Manage WP. I don't anymore. Mainly because I found that like updating and managing websites individually was easier, and also when I hand over or a client gets someone else to look after a website or whatever, I just found it easier. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with Manage WP or anything like that. I just suddenly found that I wasn't really using them much, so I just stopped using them. Yeah, Vito Peleg, who lives in London, which I did not know until I think I found out about 6 months ago. I didn't know that. I thought he was still in Israel, but no, he goes to Israel quite a lot, but he lives in London. Do you know what? I have to be honest. Manage WP was okay, even though it was GoDaddy. It was okay. Well, Eddie, you know the notes, right? You get a link that you can share with your client, or you can go to your website, or you're building a website and you leave the notes. So let's say there's 40 notes for you or the client. You need them to feed back keywords maybe, or they've put comments in. You can then do a Google search for Atarim. Go to their website. Great website, by the way. What Vito's done is really nice. You can leave a note, and I could tick it off to say I've done it. So it becomes like a project management tool as well. I mean, he's done really well, Vito. He's done really well. The man of many hairstyles. You do an image search for Vito Peleg. You know what I mean, George. Do an image search. The man of many hairstyles. I like his current hairstyle. I do like his current one, but he's the man of many hairstyles. You can literally see the evolution of Vito Peleg with his hairstyles. Do you know what I mean, George? Oh, George, Nitro Speed. The bulk of people on Fiverr that charge $10, $15 to optimize your website, the bulk of them are using Nitro Pack. Hey, John, I can tell you now, the bulk of people on Fiverr who go, yeah, we'll optimize your website, they're using Nitro Pack. Because Nitro Pack, you install it, you literally open it, set it to the ludicrous setting. It's called ludicrous, and that's it. And you are going to hit 100% on the mobile and 100% on the desktop. But in reality, that's not what you're getting. So just because you cheat the system, if your website is slow when someone actually goes to it, your 100% fake score is meaningless. Meaningless. But so many people go, oh yeah, well it doesn't matter, I got 100%. I go, yeah, but your website, when I actually go to it, is really, really slow. Because here's the thing, you could create by the way, hi Catherine. By the way, you could create a website, you could create a page, right, that has nothing but 50 videos. All of the videos are 100 megabytes in size. Your page is now 5 gigabytes big. It is so slow, it takes a day to load up. You use NitroPack, and you will hit 100% on the score because you cheated the system. But cheating does not solve the problem that your website is ridiculously slow. Right? Ridiculously slow. So there's so many people that try and defend NitroPack, but when you look at the experts, if the experts are not convinced, and look, if NitroPack actually worked and was good at what says it actually does, I'd be promoting it. Why wouldn't I? I have no affiliate to Auto-Optimize or WP Fastest Cache or Asset Cleanup or half the stuff I talk about or share. I wouldn't, would I? So if NitroPack actually was good, why wouldn't I tell you about it? Like I told loads of people about Sarah Finite Accelerator. The only drawback to that plugin, which is why I don't promote it that much, is because it's really good, but you then have to start paying. So, do you know what I mean? It's just not good. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Phil. Totally agree. Exactly, totally agree what Phil says there. Key things, right? Don't use too many inner sections. Try not to have any at all. Optimize your images, WebP. Custom load your fonts. Preload your fonts. Preload your icons or SVG or whatever you're doing. Don't use too many videos or sliders. Don't have a video as your hero banner. Don't have too many animations in your header or your hero banner as well, because that can add a bit of CLS sometimes and stuff as well. Yeah, Eddie, so I use SiteGround, but I don't use Site... Okay, here's the big one. Here's the bombshell, right? Here's the bombshell for today. I use SiteGround, but I don't use SiteGround Optimizer. Because with SiteGround Optimizer, I could probably hit 70% for the mobile. I get rid of SiteGround Optimizer and I use Auto-Optimize and WP Fastest Cache, and I'm now hitting 90, 95, sometimes 100 on a good day when the server is good. Doesn't make sense, does it? Why is the SG Optimizer not so good? I don't really know. I feel like they're missing a trick a little bit. You automatically think, oh, SiteGround Optimizer, yeah, I'll use that. But no. I get rid of their plugin, boom, deactivate, delete, and then I use Auto-Optimize and WP Fastest Cache and Asset Cleanup. Okay, so this is I didn't know about, I've never used ICO Moon. Let me make a note of this. Is there a cost for ICO Moon, by the way? Do you want to tell us, Phil? Is there a cost for ICO Moon? Just going to make a note of it here. Just insert it into my bullet list. ICO Moon? ICO Moon? Yeah, so, optimize, half the time, okay. Also, watch out for Google tags. You can have 100%. By the way, if anyone here knows of a great solution, please put it, because this one troubles me, right? You could have 100% page speed score on your mobile. The minute you add Facebook Pixel, Google tag, or cookie consent, you can lose 30% of your score because of them. And it really gets on my nerves when that happens. Do you know what, Phil? I would probably do what you've just said there. I would probably just, store the JSON files or whatever you've got to use and then just reuse them. WP, do you know something? Carapace? I've worked on some websites where they use auto-optimize, but WP Rocket was needed to make the score better. I've also worked on some websites where WP Rocket, there was only so much, even with the paid version, we could do. I got rid of it, put auto-optimize in, and I got a higher score. I often find the content of the website and the back-end plugins or any other fetching or anything that's going on, that can determine if WP Rocket or auto-optimize win. I've seen blog posts that say you can use both of them, which I'm not sure about that approach. I'm always a bit funny about that. Yeah, George, it is, if anyone out there has an idea or a way, do you know what I mean? Like, to stop Google Tag Manager, Facebook Pixels, cookie consent is the worst one, right? Cookie consent, Google reCAPTCHA, but cookie consent, boy, does that knock your score. You often get CLS as well, don't you? I am just fed up. I really am fed up, right, of cookie consents. I really am. I really, really am just fed up of it. Every browser, right, in the world needs to build a setting. So if I say from the start, do not store cookies or whatever, cookie consent, whatever you want to call it. So when I open a website, it already kind of passes something back to allow or disallow. I shouldn't have, how we talk about reduce unnecessary clicks? Talk about the shittest click ever. Do you accept these cookie consent? No, I don't. Or yes, I do. Hate it. And I know we got to have it. It's the law. I know we got to have it, but hate it. How many times do you go to a website on your phone or whatever and you're like, oh, cookie consent, boom. Go to another website, oh, cookie consent, boom. The trouble is, Della, it's what we have to use it, but I just hate how it mucks up your page speed score. So here's my advice to everyone here, right? I've done a video on this, okay? Here's my advice to you, okay? When you build your website and you install Elementor, check your page speed score. You build your header, check your page speed score. Do your mobile. You do your hero banner, check your mobile, do your page speed score. You do your next section, do the mobile, check your page speed score. So when you get to the end of the website, you know your page speed score for your pages. You know it. Then right at the end, then you add the cookie consent, check your score. Add your Google Tag Manager if you need it, check your score. Add your Facebook Pixel if you need it, check your score. So you can always go back to the client if they ever go, oh, the score is low or whatever. You can go, no, the score was 92%, depending on the server and stuff like that, videos and whatever. Because of the score comes down. So whenever I know that some websites I've built, the score is 62%. I don't cry. I don't lose sleep. I don't start panicking because I know before we added the cookie consent, it was up there. And now it's down there. Do you get what I mean? Because when you go to a website and the score is like here, you try and fix it. You do the web font, the WebP images, you do the fonts, the custom load, you do all this stuff. And the score doesn't get higher. And you go there, you start going, what the hell is going wrong? There's nothing you can do. It's the cookie consent, right? So that's my strategy. And it means things take longer. But I then know that when I'm building the homepage and I'm on section 4 and I add something and I check it on the mobile, optimize, and then I check the page speed score. If that score suddenly drops 10%, I go back to that section. I go, right, why? Why did that section that had nothing but a header and an image drop the score? Oh, the image size, or there's some JavaScript, or maybe it's another plugin or whatever you're using. It means it gets me to be active in fixing it. Unlike Nitro Pack that just cheats the system. Does that make sense, everyone? Does anyone else follow that? I'm just going to check the comments. Does anyone else follow that approach? Just read what George said. Designers don't think like us. Exactly, Pixstar. Exactly. Because I have to be honest, there's someone who's contacted us 2 days ago. And I've told them I will do an initial inspection and then we need to look where do you want to go with it. Fixing it or the time, because there's loads of stuff to fix. But I have said to them, right, is that what they've got is they've got a big website, right? They've got a big website. Loads of pages, loads of content. Loads of inner sections, by the way. We're talking lots of inner sections on just the homepage alone. And their score's like that. And I'm like, you got all these problems without me even doing a proper inspection yet. And if web designers, developers, everyone out there just started to kind of start as we mean to go on with checking at each stage, it would make things so much simpler, right? So I had to think about that. It would make things so much simpler, because there's nothing worse than when you're working on, when you offer to help someone out, or someone comes to you and their score. Did you know we had someone last week who contacted me? Their score was 7%. I think I told you about it on the live chat last week. The mobile score was 7%. I went and then ran page speed score 3 times with an interval at each time. I did not get higher than 7%. It went down to 6 on one occasion, and it wasn't all down to their server. It was just the way they built the page, the amount of plugins they had. And I was like, whoa. Like, whoa. This needs serious work. Serious work. Well, you know what, George? You know what I say to the clients when they say they want a slider? I say to them, okay, you'll have your slider. On the mobile, do you still want the slider? Think about if the user's going to like that. And number 3, this will affect your page speed, which could affect your Google rankings, which could affect conversion and user interaction. I say to them, I go, if you want it, I'll do it. But if like anyone ever contacts you and says, oh, your page speed score is not that, it's not really that high, please understand it's because you went and you wanted a slider. Just like one of my clients wanted like a video playing. And I said to them, you are going to have a hit, even though it's coming from YouTube. So when it comes from YouTube, there'll be a bit of a delay. And it might not even play on the mobile. Videos don't always play on the mobile. You know that, right? They don't always automatically autoplay. And I tried to explain that to them. And they were like, yep, that's fine. And I go, right, as long as you understand the risk, fine. You want it, we'll do it. I'm telling you from experience not to do it. But you're the master of your destiny. Go and spin on the castle of Grayskull, right? You know, basically. Can I just say, this is so cold. I feel like I'm in heaven, people, right now. I'm in heaven. When you have stonking cold Pepsi Max going down your throat, destroying whatever you have inside of you, I feel good. Whoa. I feel it lifting me into heaven. But yeah, I just think that there was one plugin. I found it before Christmas and I can't remember the name of it. And it claimed to handle the issue of page speed score with cookie consent. I installed it, used it, and it did bugger all. It did bugger all to the score. In fact, it made it worse, I think. But I'm still waiting for someone to invent a plugin or a solution, something. And there's got to be a way. Maybe it's HTML. I don't know. Something that stops it hitting the page speed score. I'm just trying to come up with something. You know what, George? When they say that, I then say to them, but you don't know what kind of server they got. And right now, you're not paying. You know what I say to them? And this isn't entirely true, but I use this. I say, yeah, but you're not paying £1,000 a month for a super fast server. I just say that to them. I say, you're not, that company you're comparing to have got money, have got collateral, they've got finances. You're not paying £1,000 a month for a super speed server. Oh, Pixar, that'd be awesome. Right, HTML, CSS only, and somehow the JavaScript in that, somehow, somewhere, is so minor, is so minuscule, we don't give a about it. But I think we're still waiting for that, aren't we? You know, I'd love it, but we don't have it yet. PS, everyone, don't forget to click like. Why do I need you to click like? Let me tell you. A, it means you like, which is good. B, it helps the YouTube algorithm. What that means is there's a higher chance that the fact we're live, it means that next time we go live and stuff like that, there's a high... You know when you go to YouTube, initially, you have lots of like... it tells you videos, a video from a year ago or a live or whatever or recent. It has loads of videos, not subscriptions, just general videos. There's a higher chance we crop up there for other people to discover, join in the conversation in the community. So please do click like, okay? If you click dislike, I'll hate you for life. No, right. Hey, Zach, how are you? Hey, Mark. Don't say anything, Mark, but hey, have you heard anything from the competition one? And I did notice, Mark, the AMS one is now live, and they're obviously sharing it, so that's good. So let's get that one paid off. Zach Shaw, I'm trying to get the Elementor counter widget to display hit count. Now, Zach, I am going to say that hit counters are so 25 years ago. Okay, they are a dated. Tell me what you're using the hit count for. Are you using it for the number of visitors, or is it literally, you know? Is there like an animation of someone hitting an image? What's going on here? I will honestly say to you though, hit counters and all of that is so 25 years ago, right? Quarter of a century, right? We're talking about a dated thing which no one cares. I don't care if the hit count says 1, 20, 1,000. I don't care. Because it is so... Let me tell you something, right? It is very easy for me to sit there and hit F5, refresh, right? It is very easy, and you pull up your hit count. That's why nobody cares about hit count. You can literally just put blue tack on F5 or get a bottle of Pepsi Max, stick that on F5 and just refresh the page. No one cares about it. It's too easy to cheat. Hey, Jimmy, if as long as they're the only kind of videos you have, hey, you know what I mean? Hey? As long as they're the only videos you have, mate. You know, I don't know what you're watching. The thing is, though, Zach, yeah, I mean, I would say, okay, by the way, don't anyone criticize Zach for this, by the way, but tell me why. What's making you think it's a good thing? Yeah, all right, Mark, cool. And it was handy, Mark, as well, that by mysterious ways, I discovered that if you contact the support team after you buy it, they allow you to have 2 secret plugins, which took the facility further. So that was weird. It's like, why didn't they advertise that? Jack, listing types. Is there a way to clone the page? Yes, Jack. So what you can do, okay, is when you do one listing type, okay. In fact, let me show you, Jack. Jack, my good man, stay right there. Okay, stay right there, my friend. Right, okay, let me show you. So this is a client site. Let me just actually do that. Let me log in. Let me just show you, Jack, all right? Stay there. So if we go to listing types, okay, listing types right here. Let's just go to, say, businesses. We've got 4 listing types. So let's just pick this one and click edit. Let's click edit. Okay, click edit. Can you see down here we have export config file? You export it. You click that. It takes 10 seconds. You export it. Right, you export it. You then go to listing types, maybe, and you click add new. You do add new. You add your name, blah, 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 whatever you want. Right, you add your name. Down here, you then hit import config file. Whoops, sorry, you can't see it. There we go. Import config file. You import the file and it will make an exact copy of everything you did in the other listing type. The fields, the layout, the setup, everything. Complete copy. And then all you do is go through and change the names, maybe change the fields, add, remove, whatever. It's like it reduces the workload from like maybe 1 hour, 2 hours to like 10 minutes. Right? Does that help, Jack? Does that answer your question? If it don't, I don't care. No, that should answer your question. Duplicate page won't really work, Jack. Duplicate page won't work. Don't do that. Don't do that. Export the config file and then import, then change the title, the field names. You might be asking different questions and all of that. Just go for it. Back to Zach. So this is why does Zach need a hit counter? He's got an educational content site. I want to have a thing that says X number of people have benefited. Yeah. That's not really a hit counter though, is it? That's like maybe you could argue that if you're selling a course, it might be how many people have purchased. Hey, Mando, right? But again, when I go to any website and they've got a hit counter, I don't believe it because it is. I could sit here hitting F5 literally just for like 10 minutes, and the hit rate's like that. It'll probably be ending close, 1,000 or whatever, and it's too easy to cheat. Secondly, there are some plugins and ways to do it where you can just go in, right, and you can just like type in your number. Oh, we'll just say 4 million visitors. The website was released yesterday, but in less than 24 hours, I've had 4 million hits. I've sold nothing, but I had 4 million hits. Right? Amazing. No, it's not. It's too easy to cheat. Don't do it, mate. I'm telling you, don't do it. Cool, Jack. I'm glad that helps you out. Okay. Because I bet you've spent 1 to 2 hours doing one listing type, Jack. And you're like, oh my God, do I need to do that all over again? Ugh. But you can now just export, import, and then just check off. It also means consistency. So if you've made, your profile bit or the cover layout or just certain bits of it a certain way, you have consistency, and now you can just go in and mess around with it. So sorted. And that's what we love to do on the live chat. Share info, keep it real, keep it funky. Yes. Now, this is a great response from Phil. Rather than do hit counts, get reviews. Rather than saying we helped 50 people, where's the testimonials? Where's the review? Where's the video review? Can you get a video review? Can you get a review of someone actually going and showing how this helped them? Not one of these fake video reviews that people get off Fiverr. Oh yeah, this course was amazing. It changed my life. I've now made over £1 million, but I'm still recording in my shed. Right? Can you get stuff like that? Yes, Artif, we are after midday. In case anyone's wondering what Artif is talking about, yesterday he came on at 11:55 a.m. and he went, good afternoon. I was like, Artif, it's still morning. Haha, you finished a nap. Yes, so real testimonials are good. And the great thing is that when you get a testimonial, you can screenshot it and put it on your social media. Facebook, Twitter, Insta, LinkedIn, wherever you want. That is so much more powerful than someone saying 40 people have benefited. Who are these 40 people? And I really hate websites. You know, in the bottom left, down here, it says, Mr. Smith just purchased this. And I'm like, I don't really care who Mr. Smith is. What's even worse is when it says Mr. Smith purchased this and some of them have the date and the date was like 2 years ago. And I go, right, so you're telling me about someone who purchased it 2 years ago. And if this only shows me the 5 latest people, you're telling me that one of your 5 latest people that purchased this was 2 years ago. That's a great selling point. Hey, Aimer. Is it Aimer? Is it Aimer or Aimer? Aimer? Yeah, so Aimer's asking where am I from? I'm born in Leicester, UK. I'll be 44 years old in September. I'm getting old. 44 years old. Yeah. Now, right. I'm going to... so Aim has asked about my plugins, right? I'm going to give you a video that I strongly recommend you watch because I talk about my 8 essential plugins and some of my desirable ones. And I go through why and what we use. Let me just give you the link for it. All right, so... just bear with me because I can't get this to work for some reason. Right, here we go. There you go. Go watch that video if you want to understand our essential plugins that we use on every Elementor website without fail. And then our desirable ones, which we might use, but it depends on what you're building inside that website, stuff like that. Yeah, so Dan, believe it or not, Dan, my way of doing it isn't the most let me just show you what I do, okay? Let me show you what I do. Right. Let me just show you what I do. Right. So I'm going to go over to my media library, okay? I'm in my media library, okay? Look at that. That's me. Right. Let's go for this image here. This is a WebP image. 19. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me just move myself. Let me just move myself here. This image is a WebP image, 1920 by 1080, 138 kilobytes. This is why I keep telling you. To do your WebP. 138 kilobytes for that image, right? So what I would do is, hold on, I can't. You're not going to see it. Let me just get right here. Can you see down here? You have copy to clipboard. I copy it, right? I go over here, stick it in there, and then I just save this image to my downloads folder, right? And if I now go to my downloads folder, which is here, there's the image. There's the image. It's still in the WebP format. And then I just add it to my media library. Now that is a long-winded way. I will admit that is a bit of a long-winded way to do it. And if you've got loads of images, you don't want to be doing it that way. However, I don't have to install another plugin just to do that. Right? So if I've got, say, this image that I'm using right now here, right? So look, I've got this image in twice. Let me just show you. I've got to keep moving myself out of the way. Let me just make myself smaller for a moment. Sounds rude, doesn't it? There we go. Look, I'm going to put myself over here, right? Like that. See these two images? They're both the same image. 138, 138, right? Two versions. This is my hero banner for the desktop. This image will be what I use for the mobile, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click, let me get rid of that. I'm going to click edit, right? I'm going to edit the image. The first thing I'm going to do is scale it, and I'm going to scale it to be 700 in height. 700 in height, not the width. I don't care about the width, just 700 in height. When you've done that, I hit cancel, because if you don't, it won't remember it. Okay, so look, this image here, this is the original desktop. Oh, this damn avatar of me keeps getting in the way. Let me just move it. There we go. Here's the original image, 1920 by 1080. Here's the copy, 1244 by 700. Right, so we've scaled it. Then I go to edit. Now I hit crop, and I'm going to make this now be about 500 in width. And I'm now going to go with something like that. I'm going to go with something like this. And I hit crop. I now have, right, let me save it, just so you can see the difference. There is my desktop image, 1920 by 1080, 138 kilobytes. Here is my, I'm not sure why that size is not changing. I probably need to refresh the page a bit. Let me just refresh it. I'm not sure why it's not changing. It's meant to change. Not sure why it's not changing. I'm not going to dwell on it. This is my desktop. This is my mobile, 500 by 699 pixel. So I have an image that's not too big or, I don't know, going off the page and stuff like that. I don't know if that answers your question, Dan. I hope it did. I hope it did. I mean, it is a funny one, Dan. I will admit that. And there are probably plugins, but I just do it on the fly when I need it. Yeah, so Phil, so I hope I kind of answered your question, Phil, with why I might have the same image twice, so that I can have a totally different image for the mobile responsive mode. Now, this question, though, 30 plugins. I mean, I'm looking at Phil's response as well. It does depend, but I would say 30 plugins. I would want to know why and what they are. And like, have you got duplicate stuff? So you got 4 plugins that do the same thing. So you're conflicting with one another. You're not getting the full benefit. My question to you would be, why do you need that many? And whenever I've gone to a website that has over 20, if it's a WooCommerce, I kind of go, okay, but we still need to double check. But I would seriously be questioning why you have that many. Because even with a WooCommerce one, I might go up to 14 or 15. You might have WooCommerce payments. Then you might have Themify. You might have flexible shipping. Maybe something else. So I might push up a bit. But even the minute if a WooCommerce website is going over 15, it's got to have a damn good reason. It really does. I mean, one website we were going to help on had 42. It wasn't 48, but I think it was 42 plugins, something really high. And they had like 4 different, they had Yoast and Rank Math. What? Why do you need that? It had 4 or 5 optimization plugins. And I said to them, the reason your score's low is because you're actually conflicting. Right? They just had loads of plugins and they were all activated, and you're going, you don't need these. Image compression ones as well. They had 2 of those, I remember. They had Robin Optimizer and not Smush. Can't remember if it was Optimal. One of those ones. And it's just like media cleaner. Eddie, I would say please make a backup before you do that. Always make a backup, right? Before you do any of these file, like file manager or media library. Not media library, media folder or media cleaner or even WebP. If you add any of these plugins in, always make a backup, because if it mucks up your WP contents, your plugin and your content, trust me right now, if it mucks up your images and you haven't got the copy anymore anywhere, kaboom, okay? You don't want to go for it. But yeah. Does that help you, Ima? Does that help you? Yep, daily backup. I mean, you got SiteGround. I always say it's not a bad idea. If SiteGround do a backup, then you got Updraft Plus. My third option, and I do this as and when I want to, if I'm going to do something big or major, is I then do an all-in-one migration export. Takes 3-4 minutes, but hey, who cares? You just do it in the background and it's done. Yeah, I mean, SEO is a funny thing, Zach. It's like the benefits of good SEO is good, but it is kind of it is just a convoluted maze, right? Nice one, Eddie. Algorithmic prestidigitation. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to quickly switch to looking at this monitor here for a moment, because I've had quite a few emails come in. Luckily, though, half of them are spam. Who here loves deleting when you get spam messages? Just get lost. Boom, 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 boom. The reason why I've got these on is I was going to, while doing the live chat, just listen to some stuff that I was going to pick some stuff to use in a video. However, I can't be bothered to do it because I always love speaking to you all. I love doing that. By the way, if you are watching right now, don't forget to click like. And please don't forget that tomorrow, 8 p.m. British Summertime, BST, whatever you want to call it, on Paul's channel, WP Tuts, there's a live chat with me and Paul again, and Vito from Atterim. And we're going to be talking or focusing on handling clients, expectations, pressures, how to keep a client, how to build that relationship. And we'll be using, obviously, analogies and experiences, basically real life, okay? Basically real life. And I'm sure Vito's got some great stories to share. I was hoping everyone had forgotten that one, Mia. Yeah, I mean, what I would say to you is, okay, and I'm going to make a assumption here, okay? Are you using Elementor Pro? Are you planning to... No, are you planning to use Elementor Pro? Because if you're not using Elementor Pro, I can understand why you might end up installing lots of other plugins for Elementor. I can understand that, right? And before I got Elementor Pro, I used Elementor Free, and I had we had exclusive not exclusive, essential add-ons, premier add-ons, happy add-ons, and there was a fourth one. I think it was master add-ons. I think that was it. And it mucked up the website, conflict, compatibility, and all of that. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I just need to I just heard a weird sound. I've just got to double check something. Hold on a minute. Hey, I left the patio door open. I realised there's birds outside. I don't want any birds flying into the house. I was going to say something and it's gone now. I was going to say something and it's gone out my head. I was going to say something, it's gone out my head now. Damn, what was it? Yeah, happy add-ons. I mean, that was one of the reasons I actually used it, a cross-domain thing. But you're better off, okay, investing in Elementor Pro. Because now, the minute I went Elementor Pro, I stopped using add-ons. Don't have to use them. Don't need them. And I don't have to worry about incompatibility issues like that anymore. Right? So, I would think very hard about what plugins you're using. So if you're going to use Elementor Free... Oh, yes, add-ons. Yeah, that's right, Eddie. Hey, Stacey, good to have you here. If I was going to use an Elementor add-on, it would probably be QI add-ons. QI add-ons. It'd probably be that one, just because I love some of the plugins they've got in there. Uboy is really good. Loads of people love Uboy, but I feel like Flexbox Container kind of undoes, or you can do stuff with that now. Dynamic U, loads of people like that, but I find it quite a complicated one to understand all the settings. But if I was going to use one, I'd use QI add-ons, but I don't like to use plugins anymore. Sorry, add-ons. I don't use add-ons. Just don't. And sometimes a lot of the videos that I do put out there, you will notice that the videos I try and give a solution or an option or a method which removes the need for you to use a plugin. Because if it, so I'm just typing something here. If it's got to be groundbreaking in what it does and make your life so much easier. But is it worth adding a plugin for maybe one little feature? So you want one little okay, I've seen people use a widget, not a widget, a plugin like Premiere add-ons. You know when you have like an image and you want the zoom in effect, you could use code or you could Premiere add-on have like the image zoom. And they install the plugin just for that one thing. For one thing, they add that in. And I'm like, just use the call to action widget, which has the zoom in effect. Oh, but I don't want the words. No, you can get rid of the words. You can get rid of the words. Hey, Andrew, don't worry about being quiet, okay? I was worried that you'd fallen off your chair, but you crack on. Okay, Eddie, can I tell you something? Tell you something. Elementor do actually let, you know, all these add-on companies, they do let them know. So they have an opportunity. So a lot of them, like Happy add-ons, I know Happy add-ons are really quick. And quite a few of them, they're really quick on making sure their plugin works with the latest update. It's just some of them don't bother until the update's out. And then they do an update a day or two later or a week later. They're the worst ones. Ocean WP are horrendously... They're a theme, not a plugin, obviously. But Ocean WP are horrendously bad at updating their theme whenever there's an Elementor update. Ah, nice one, Pigstar. Let me know what you find on that. I've just got to very quickly check something because I've just remembered something, which I have this sneaky feeling in my head that a client's website that we released yesterday, I've got a feeling the contact form still has my email on. I don't know why. Literally right now as I was talking to you all, something in my head just went, did I change that? I just got to quickly... Oh, yeah, it is changed. Oh, that's okay then. Yeah, it is changed. I thought I had. Yeah, that's okay. It is changed. You know when you have that moment where you kind of go, did we change it or not? Did we change it? In fact, I think I'm just going to add in some honey pots. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. It's always good. I always like to add like 4 honey pots into a contact form. Stacey, so I was sat over there and this was the back of the room. And I've now, the sofa that was here, I've put the sofa there facing the room and I've moved myself back here just because it felt more intimate. Because before I was right over there and the lights were behind me and it felt too distant. Too vast and open, too cavernous, like a bat cave. And what I've now gone for more is a cave. Smaller room. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Phil. Yeah. So it's like so where some people are a bit unsure about code and stuff like that, or about the image bleeding. You know, when it grows, it kind of it starts like this and then it grows and it actually comes outwards. Whereas with the C2A widget, it just grows within the frame. Yeah, Ocean WP, I really hate that. What the heck? Where did that fly come from? There's a quite a massive fly. There's a big fly behind me. Who cares, right? Yeah, yeah. I mean, the room is more reminiscent of the old one, and I think a lot of people did like the old vibe because it felt closer. The only problem I got though is that curtain right there. I am still thinking of what to do to either hide or make that more of a feature. Hey, what the sales? The back cave is cool, but you know what? If you look at my videos from 4 weeks ago, everything was pushed back. Like, you know, all of these items here, the Mandalorian mask literally looked like that big. Everything was pushed back. You couldn't even properly see the items properly. Everything was far too pushed back. Hey, Matt, how are you? Question. Yeah, that's the other thing as well, Eddie. It was dark. It did feel darker as well. Question from Zach. Is there a way to get images as radio buttons in form? Ooh, God, there's this huge fly in here. Be gone, you silly. Can you hear the fly buzzing? If you can, I'm sorry. There probably is a way, but you're saying you've put the source code in and it didn't work. Might need some custom CSS actually added onto the form. So rather than, so your radio button, you'll have your word. And then you might need to add some CSS onto the full form that then says, for that particular label, replace it with image and label. You might need to do that. That's quite a funny one, actually. That's quite a funny one. I remember the first time I realised that as well. I was like, what? First time I found that, I was surprised as well. Yes, like Phil is saying, yeah. So I think you'd have to use some CSS on the form to say that field. Have you Googled it? Have you Googled it? Have you Googled it? So I'm just putting up some links there. Have you Googled it? Have you Googled it? They have, well, to be honest, Matt, they don't overly mention it, but in a lot of videos they do it. So they might have a tutorial and they just click on it. And then they just click on it and do it in the tutorials. Yeah, I mean, Pickstar, I've got into the habit of doing that a bit more as well. I put my code snippets into, no, sorry, I put my CSS into code snippets too. and sometimes it's nice to keep everything in one place. So when you hand over, take care, Mark. When you hand over a website to a client or anything like that, having all the codes there that you can activate or deactivate very quickly keeps things clean, doesn't it? Especially for a client if you're no longer working for them, rather than the code being, is it in the theme? Is it over here? Is it over there? Is it in the child theme? Then it gets messy. How do you explain to a client, yeah, we did your code, it's in the child theme? They're like, child? We're not even married. What is this? Yeah, you take care, Dan. So Andrew, something weird is happening with my navigation bar. Appears vertical and duplicate. Okay, Andrew, can I ask you to do something? Come out your page, regenerate your CSS, purge your site, purge your cache, log out, and then go back in. Regenerate your CSS. Not guaranteed to work, by the way, Andrew, but try that, okay? Just try that. I always have to kind of quickly switch just to double check. Sometimes I get, when you get lots of messages or comments coming through. What? Yeah. Sorry, someone's just said something and I'm like, I think they've missed the point of what I was saying. Anyway. All right, yeah, you take care, Pigstar. Always great having you, mate. What should we have on the t-shirt? George, I've forgotten what I said. What should we have on the t-shirt? That I don't give a shit. What should we have on the t-shirt? Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I kind of, purge the server, regenerate CSS, gotcha. The only reason I don't always like to go down the child theme route is mainly because if the website, the owners or the client decides not to work with us, or they take the website elsewhere, or they got someone else looking after it, or something like that. It's one of those, I feel like it's easier to hand over because I can basically say, here's the bit for that, here's the bit for that, here's the bit for that. So if they want to chop and change it or whatever, they can. And I find it easier. Also, the minute you start saying to a client, I mean, how many people here, I remember when I first heard about child themes, I remember going, what the heck are we talking about here? What? Multiply? Like gremlins? What's going on? Ah, yes. Well, Jack, I'm pretty sure Neil Patel's email will just be another one of his. In fact, I've just got one as well. I can tell you right now, right? So now Neil's video is all about here's a quick way to find those keywords. So let me see where the link takes you. Oh, look, it takes you back to exactly the same thing he's always been showcasing, right? And what will happen is, it's the same thing. You put in your URL, it will tell you bit You can only run it 2 times, and you got to sign up and pay if you want a bit more info. It's just the same thing he keeps pumping out. Do something different, Neil. It's the same spammy in my opinion, emails that just come out that don't actually tell you anything different. You know, he's just putting numbers in. Did you know for most keywords there are roughly 6,787 more results than searchers? That doesn't even make sense. I get what he's saying, but he could have worded it better, right? And then he says for every search that someone does on Google, there are thousands of results. So how do you make people choose yours? And then he goes into keywords. But, you know, some people try and sell something that you don't need to pay for. You just learn it. You can read about it. You can watch a video on it. I'll be back in 2 minutes, everyone, okay? Oh. Everyone gets an email from Neil Patel. Right, Eddie? Yeah, good point actually Phil makes there about adding items to the child theme. That is a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, so the thing about Neil Patel, yeah, is that, and by the way, Neil, if you're watching this, I'm not dissing you, but he's got a great persona, hasn't he? He's got almost like that kind of face where he's kind of like the cool guy, walks in the office and like, hey Neil, he's like, how you doing? You know, he's that kind of like, he's got that persona. He's got the fonts, hey, right? Monday, Tuesday, happy days, right? He's got that cool vibe. But after a while, if the cool guy always says the same thing, doesn't give you anything different, it gets a bit boring. And, you know, it's just starting to turn into it's starting to remind me of a lot of other influencers that are popular. They've been out long enough to be very popular. They get interviewed on radio and TV programs and people start to go, wow, this guy's super cool, or woman or whoever, right? But when you drill down deeper into what they're telling you, actually, what are they telling you? How many of these marketer people do you have who go, oh yeah, we're going to show you how to make your business grow? When you look at it, what are they really telling you? Really? That you didn't already know? You know, he's telling you, right, find the popular new keywords before your competition. Well, hold on a second. What if my competition are also watching this video? Then I won't find the keywords before my competition, right? Do you know what I mean? Hey, it's like if you post a leaflet to your house and the next door, and you say, get this pizza before anyone else. Well, they might get it as well. So who got it first, me or them? Right? In a way, yeah. The only thing though is I'm never convinced with like what they say. You know when they then say, right, you have a 7-day trial and then you pay for extra. I always look at it and go, but you're selling something they could actually get or do themselves for free. Because they're not actually going to do anything for you. They're not going to log into your site and do it for you. All they're going to do is tell you stuff that you could get yourself for free. Aha. Yeah. Referrals is the power. Exactly, George. Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow, Irishman, 8 p.m. British summertime. We've got another live chat with WP Tuts, Paul, and Vito from Atarim. I always say Atarim, and Vito always says, he pronounces it proper way. It's Atarim. It's Atarim, he says. I always say Atarim. Do you know what, Phil? I'm glad you said that because that's exactly my thoughts. 7-day for a trial is no way. I mean, look, you know, if you change your keywords right now on your Elementor website or Rank Math or whatever, it might take Google 2 or 3 days to fully register it, you know, even after you index and crawl. You're not really going to see the results of that, usually until maybe week 2. Week 1, maybe. Week 2, maybe, right? Just makes no sense. And what also I don't like about the thing that Neil has, right, is that, you know, if you've ever tested out that thing he has with the keywords and what is it called? Uber Suggest or something. You can only do, I think, is like 2 or 3 a day. You can run it. And then it says you've got to do it again tomorrow. You go in the next day, it still won't let you. You go in the next day, it still won't let you. And it's almost like they've tricked you into like, you got to sign up if you want to do more. And I just find the strategies remind me of the dodgy salesperson who goes, hey, look, I got this car, yeah. I got this car. 10 people have seen it. They're ready to buy it. But if you put your deposit down now, you can have it. And I'm like going, so obviously the 10 other people who said they want the car didn't put down a deposit. So why should I be number 11 who puts down a deposit? And when I say that to them, they kind of go, oh yeah, well, you know, they weren't really serious. And I go, right, so therefore you don't have 10 people ready to buy it because they weren't serious. So which is it? And I always like pin them down on this one. I don't like to be difficult. I don't like to haggle. I'll tell you now, I'm not one of those people who goes, ooh, I want a disc. I'm not one of those. But if I go into a shop to look at furniture or a car or whatever, unless I go to the salesman and say, can you help me with a few questions or whatever, don't be in my face. Don't be in my face telling me what to buy and all of this. No, I'll come to you. Don't you come over to me. Don't you be the annoying pop-up. Don't you be Mr. Clipart in Microsoft Word. Hello, do you want to copy and paste? Here we go. This is how we copy and paste today. That's right. Don't be the annoying, you know, pop-up in my face. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Yep, keyword chef. I haven't not used low fruits, but keyword chef, that's a good one. That is a good one. In fact, you know what? You've reminded me that I think a long time ago I was going to do a video on stuff like that. So you've reminded me to do a video on it. Not right now, but I need to do a video on it. So thank you for reminding me about that one. But I have never used low fruits, so let me just, I might do a check on that one as well. How good is that? Clippy. That was his name. The little paperclip. The paperclip. I hated that paperclip. I really did. Hey, can I help you? Yes, you can. Off. Basically, is what I would say to that paperclip. Wow, Eddie. Do you know something? Here you go. Do you want to save money? Look what Eddie's just said. If you really want Uber Suggest and you want it for half price, VPN to India. What? Now it's time to call in all those Fiverr favors. Hey, you over there. It's quite a story. That's quite funny, that. Wow, Andrew. Okay, so I wonder, Andrew, if you've added some CSS anywhere. Or is this from a different plugin? Have you got any CSS or something anywhere? Yep, I'll make sure I'll do something like that, Andrew. SEO keyword. And that's what I mean, Jack. So it's very clever, the whole tool. Oh, yeah, look, here's all your keywords and woo. But SEMrush. Does anyone use SEMrush? That's fine. In fact, you know, with SEMrush, you know you can set it up so that every time your keyword rank changes, you get an email like every day or every 2 days. I think it's every 2 days. Right? Every 2 days, you get an email telling you, for this keyword, you now rank 29. You might have been 82 2 weeks ago. Now you're 29, whatever. Free and easy. So why would you want to pay? Why would you want to pay? Bergschwerk. Question about performance for a website. Let's put this on the screen. Is it better to solve things in Elementor by importing, embedding, or write custom code? It depends, Bergschwerk. Okay, so if you import a JSON file from someone else, there might be other stuff in there that you don't need, or it could affect things. If you can work out from another tutorial, or you work it out yourself what CSS to put in, that can work out better for you because you're in control of what it's doing then. External plugin, are you adding in more bloat and stuff to your back-end website than you actually need? And I've said this earlier, you've got some plugins, add-ons, with loads of widgets. You can't deactivate the widgets, all of them or whatever, just for one thing. So you went and loaded in 50 other plugins. And people go, oh, Elementor's got bloat. Nah. If you're careful, the bloat won't affect you. But they're happy to go and add in another plugin. So I would say it depends on what you're trying to achieve. Do I use anything to keep track of keyword rankings? I use SEMrush. SEMrush for me just works totally fine. Yeah, SEMrush works for me. SERP Robot. Never used SERP Robot, Phil. Is that free? Is that free, SERP Robot? I like to this list over here. Is that free? Let us know, is that free? So Andrew, you've given us your link there, right? Can I just check? Is it that you want us to check it? Is it that you want us to check your Scottish templates? Is it that you want us to check it? Ah, but Jack, so Eddie, I don't pay for SEMrush. I don't pay Eddie for SEMrush. Let me do a video. In the next week or so. Let me just work out what I'm going to say. Let me do a video in a couple of... Oh, right, George wanted it. Let me do a video in a week or so with SEO keywords and all of that. Let me do a proper video and clarify things, all right? Yeah, sure, Eddie. I'll put down what I use and stuff like that. Okay, I'll try and do a video. One of the reasons why I've not done a video on it is because it always feels like things are changing, what different tools do, and it always feels like what you say today about SEO or what tools to use, by next week, things have shifted. Hey, Tony. Let me have a think, my friends. Okay, so George, I noticed you said fixed and mixed content for Andrew. Is that what he's got? Is it his HTTP then? Hold on. Is it HTTP? Yes, you're right. I've just gone into his site. I wonder if it is that. Is that what you're talking about? HTTPS and HTTP, George. This is a... Let me try and summarize everything you need to do and what you need to do. So you don't have to use the Neil Patel tool or anything else, okay? I'm gonna actually, we're now coming up to 1.5 hours and I'm gonna give it 2 minutes. So Andrew, I hope Andrew's able to sort out his things. I'm just waiting on that, but please do click like if you were watching this on replay or, I don't know, in your bathtub, on the toilet, walking around, whatever you're doing. Please click like. It helps the YouTube algorithm with other people finding us. And please do let other people know about the live chat as well. Okay, and don't forget, tomorrow at 8 p.m. British summertime, me, Paul, and Vito from Atarim are going to be doing a live chat about clients. I'm much more behaved, aren't I, when I'm on Paul's live chat? I'm a bit more behaved. I'm more reserved. I'm less crazy. On my one, anything goes, right? Anything goes. Oh, right, okay, I see what you mean, my Berkshire, about the scroll sequence. Yeah, I mean, I would... I think it depends on what you're doing with it. So if you find by doing what you did and used it as a Lottie instead worked out quicker and better for you, then go for it. Absolutely go for what works better. Okay? Yeah, take care, Jimmy. Don't forget to let me know when you're done and dusted on your thing, okay? Yep, Andrew, please ping George an email if you're unsure. George is always there to hack your machine Mia, you talked about it earlier. What about websites? Yeah, okay. So Mia, you got Google Search Console and Google Analytics, or the Google Site Kit, which is a plugin. That for me is all I need if I'm analyzing or checking how things are on a website in terms of visitors, bounce rate, and all of that. That is all I need. I don't need to worry about any other trackers or like that. I do kind of say to my clients, don't overly worry about Facebook Pixel. It's not worth it. The way, it's not going to make things suddenly happen for you. But Google Search Console, Google Analytics via Rank Math is good for me. I don't need Google Tag Manager. Google Site Kit, again, I don't need Google Tag Manager. No, don't worry, Mia. Did that help at all? I would. I'm not crazy about Facebook Pixel. I'm not crazy about Google Tag Manager. But if you use Rank Math, you got your Search Console and your Google Analytics. If you have a bit of an issue with your Google Analytics, then you got Google Site Kit as well, right? Thank you very much, Bergschwerk. Please, Google Site Kit. It's free, it's easy to use, and all of that. Make sure you click like. Right, I'm going to cut the live, right. Andrew, you've got George's email. Make it happen, okay? Make it happen. And George, George is always there to advise. Why am I cutting the live? Because I haven't really eaten yet and I'm a little bit hungry. And I need to jump on my bike and burn some calories. And then go pick up my son. And I'm working on something which is nothing to do with Elementor, WordPress or anything. And it's a bit of a risk of a video. It might be 3 or 4 hours long. And it's just going to be easygoing music, which you can work to or not. And I don't even know if I should do it or not, but I think I might do it. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. British summertime, live chat with Paul, Atrim and me about clients. Make sure you click like. Stay safe. Look after yourselves. If you haven't said hi to one of your friends or family or your children or your pets in a while, please go and say hi. Please go and give someone a hug. Please let someone know how much they mean to you, okay? Because the world is forever changing. You don't know what's happening tomorrow or the next day. Stay true to yourself, okay? And don't pay for plugins or themes that don't offer you a good enough solution. Take care, all of you. I'll see you soon. Bye.